Tyler Bray was once called the next Peyton Manning, has been cut, traded, or promoted 113 times in his NFL career, the most in NFL history. His first play was a fumble, returned for a touchdown, had the saddest hype video of all time made about him, was once projected to be a first or second round pick, avoided vandalism charges over a bottle throwing incident, said he wanted to be remembered as a guy who won football games, but didn't. And for a guy who played in 2 NFL games, thrown a paltry 6 NFL passes, has made how much money? Today, not only are we going to find out about the most transacted QB in NFL history, but also why in the hell would he be subjected to so many clerical ups and downs in his career? Let's get into it. The beginning. Tyler who? Unless you're a Tennessee Volunteers fan, you probably don't remember much of Tyler Bray. And that is fair, yet he hung around the NFL for 8 years. Here's how it happened. Tyler Bray was born on December 27, 1991 in Clovis, California, just outside of Fresno. He went to Kingsburg High School, a small school with just over 1,000 students, when he became a 4-star recruit and one of the best quarterback recruits in the country. He originally committed to nearby San Diego State before flipping to the SEC and Derek Dooley's Tennessee. There he was able to play almost immediately, playing in 9 games his freshman year, throwing 18 touchdowns while the backup to Phil Simms' son Matt. Not too bad. He began his sophomore year as the starter when he broke Peyton Manning's record, throwing at least 2 touchdown passes in 8 straight games. As a junior, he broke many of Manning's records, including a game with 530 passing yards. After 3 years in the Tennessee Orange, he threw for 69 touchdowns. Nice. In 2012, he was mentioned in a police report where a bottle was thrown and hit a woman's car. Apparently, Bray and his roommate were throwing bottles and golf balls at a car from their apartment balcony. Bray found the victim and offered to pay for the damages, and she dropped the charges. He was evicted from the apartment complex, and nothing was done. His Chad Kelly arc started early, I guess. And so he left school as a junior in 2012 and probably got drafted, right? No. All 32 teams passed on him through 7 rounds before the Kansas City Chiefs signed the signal caller as an undrafted free agent. Against long odds, he actually made the 53-man roster his rookie year after serviceable play in the preseason. However, he was inactive for all but 1 game, the final game of the season. So now would be a good time to cover this. What exactly is a transaction? Anytime a player is signed, waived, activated, deactivated, suspended, or put on the IR, things like that, it gets logged into the official NFL logbooks as an official transaction. And Pro Football Reference tracks every single one of them, just like your mom tracks all the snacks she has distributed to the local men in the area. With both establishing what a transaction is and that your mom is a hoe, this is where things start to go downhill for Bray. Bray spent the 2014 season on the injured reserve and tore his ACL late into the 2015 season. You'd probably think he got put on the injured reserve and maybe even the PUP list a couple times, right? Now think again, he was involved in 69 nice transactions between 2013 and 2018, and we'll explain why in a little bit. He wasn't passed around the league though, like your mom. No, this was 69 transactions, all with the same team. Most of these moves were him being activated and deactivated during the standard NFL week. So were all those transactions with the Chiefs worth it? Finally, in week 17 of the 2017 NFL season, his NFL dream came true. After 4 years of being transacted and sent up and down like your mom when rents do, he came in for a temporarily injured Patrick Mahomes and promptly did this. Yeah, that play is the highlight of his Chiefs career. But this video isn't about Bray as a player, it's about him as a name. The 69 transactions Tyler Bray experienced from the Chiefs was just the beginning. As if getting cut week to week wasn't bad enough, the worst possible thing on earth happened to him next. He signed with the Chicago Bears. Did they treat him nicely and keep him in one place? No. Here come 43 more transactions. Starting in front of him on the Bears were a pair of world beaters, Mitchell Trubisky and the bad Nick Foles. And also there was Chase Daniels. Then there was Tyler Bray. He was cut as many times as a foreskin in a Jewish hospital, but they kept bringing him back. Did I said that joke. Seriously, look at this. He got signed and released over and over again. Again, we'll explain why. On top of that, the saddest all-time hype video was made for Tyler Bray. I mean, I get it, Bears fan. Watching Trubisky, Foles, and Daniels would have me screaming for anyone at that point. 2020 was almost a record-setting year for Bray as he had 18 practice squad assignments. That is second only to Wendell Smallwood's 20 assignments in 2020. Now, 2020 was a little different as the NFL rules allowed teams to protect up to 4 players on the practice squad, allowing the Bears to be a little more liberal with who they brought up and down. I'm gonna resist the urge to make a mom joke there. No, it's too late. Up and down like your mom. Later that same year, Bray got into another NFL game after a Nick Foles injury. There he completed a pass to Ryan Nall for 18 yards as he failed to help the Bears beat the Vikings and they lost 19-13. That would be his one and only NFL completion. Probably just like your dad's one and only completion. Okay, I'll stop. That would be Bray's last action on an NFL field, but the transactions weren't quite over. The next year, he sat out most of the season before he signed with the San Francisco 49ers for 2 weeks in late December and early January, and finally his contract just expired, ending his NFL career 1 for 6, 18 yards, 0 TDs, and 113 transactions. So, I hope you're asking why in the fuck this one player who played in 2 NFL games was transacted so gosh darn dang diggity so much. However, when you find out the reason, you won't feel sorry for Tyler Bray at all. Well, it comes down to practice squad rules and the salary cap. Teams can only have 16 players on a taxi squad, a bullpen if you will, of NFL players. Since some squads carry up to 2 backup QBs, some well paid like Kenny Pickett, they usually stash a 3rd backup on a practice squad and pray nobody gets injured. And most of the time they don't. So paying 2 backups and a 3rd is wildly a waste of money. But they also need that 3rd guy. Case in point, when Brock Purdy, already the 3rd guy, got injured in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. So Bray would be elevated to the roster during the week to get practice reps and stay fresh, then get cut on game day. Cutting him that late in the week ensured other teams wouldn't snatch him up on waivers, and the Chiefs or Bears didn't have to waste an actual roster spot. It's not that he was unwanted, it's that he was actually very desired. They just wanted to keep stashing him without a commitment for as long as they could. Kind of like me with your mom. Here's the rub. Rostered players, even scrubs, can make up to $70K a week in game checks. But practice squad players can make as much as $20K. So what did that mean for Tyler Bray? For his trouble, he was paid $4.9 million during his career. Who's laughing now?